Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Transform You Live show. We are back today with another wonderful and pleasant episode that sure they're going to get you on your way and sure to get you to be more insightful about something that we don't talk about enough, and that is that of the charity industry. Really excited to introduce my guest today, Mark Freilander, and he is the executive director of the Everyone Wins Foundation, and that is spelled Everyone, the number one wins. He's right here with me. Uh, so, and also he's also the founder and CEO of E1W Games, and that's spelled E number one W Games. He has an innovative, groundbreaking online platform that is really going to reshape the charity industry and fill in some of the gaps of a lot of the uncertainty in the industry. I'm really excited, and I'm sure you will be too once you get a hold of some of the information he has for you. So it's a pleasure to introduce you, Mark. How's it going?
Great, great. And you're excited because you're a Milwaukee Buck fan. That's why.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We talk about the Bucks quite a bit in most of our interactions, and so speaking of winning, though, you got I think you got a winning formula for us that you want to share with us. So
Right.
like how about we jump into some questions and kind
Okay.
of get to know your business a little bit.
Yes. Well, let me just say this. Um, Before we get started, I just want to pronounce my name so everyone knows. It's Friedlander. Just not just so okay, so everybody knows. Okay, yes. But just to give you a little insight, the Everyone Wins Foundation has been an idea of mine, and it's been something that's been very close to my heart, simply due to the fact that I gave money to charity. I've been involved in charity for many years. Even when I was younger, I wanted to help out, the little leagues, local. And I think everybody can say, that if they've given money, sometimes they ask a simple question. I wonder where the money goes, and if you have a couple of experiences that were not so great, you start asking yourself, do I really want to give? And that's sad because in every industry, there's a lot of great people doing great things. And
Right.
sadly, there's a couple of bad apples. And, I realize that the industry has some flaws. And, instead of looking at the problem, I said, hey, let's look at the solution. How can we make the opportunity to give and help our communities easier and more accessible and also more trustworthy, transparent, and accountable. And that's how I came up with the Everyone Wins Foundation. Um, I could tell you a little bit about the platform in the sense that, what we've done is before we started, I said, I need to learn a little bit more. Why is it that people don't donate? And
Right.
when I looked at it, I said to myself, well, I was fortunate to look at my model and I said, let's uh, do some studies, focus groups, case studies, and was fortunate enough to get the Florida Atlantic University School of Business. They have an entrepreneur workshop. They actually chose the Everyone Wonders Foundation as one of the companies that they wanted to work with. And we did a lot of studies and we found that there were three different reasons. The top reasons were, one was trust. Uh, the second, as I said, trust being, I wonder where the money goes. The second was, I don't have economics. It was, I don't have enough money to give, or I wonder if my small donation will truly make a difference. And the third was, if I only knew, I would have given.
Right.
So those were the three things that we said. If we can actually solve those three problems, could you imagine how many millions and millions of people will be more than willing to give? Uh, and then, how many millions and millions of people will be able to be recipients of the giving? So I thought that that was an important part of the equation that we needed to address.
You know what? I think that's really really incredible, and what you highlighted and what was revealed in the study is so true because like I have personally been there myself where I had given something, and I was totally at a loss of what happens afterwards, and and then you walk away feeling like, okay, I hope it's going to the right place, and it and it just doesn't feel right. So so I know that you kind of gave us like an overview, but like maybe just tell us a little bit more about the business model itself, just to create a little bit more trust that the conventional way we raise money, online. I mean, I know you just kind of went by it, but maybe kind of give us a little more.
Well, I like to use analogies a lot when I speak about the subject matter of anything, because I think if people could relate, then they could understand better. So here's an example. If you've ever given to someone on the street, as an example, there was a homeless person, or an individual that was at the traffic light, and unfortunately, this the thought of, should I give them money? Maybe not. Some people give money, some people don't. I decided, what if I gave them the uh, I go to McDonald's, or I go to get the fast food and I get something. Maybe if it's a little cold, I get a coffee. What if I have an extra banana? And I did that. And I used to always start doing that. And I don't know if anyone else has had that experience,
Right?
but if you give something of value, you feel good. It's a good feeling.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, but if I gave money, I said, I wonder where the money went. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, that happens like quite a bit, and like you said, we're seeing a lot of these charity, a lot some of the founders of these charities now, they got they buying big houses, and there's a lot of other crazy things happening, and you just wonder like, okay, did I contribute to your house or did I contribute to the cause?
Right. So what we did is, the Everyone Wins Foundation is called the Everyone Wins because our whole slogan is donors win, recipients win, corporate partners win. So here's what we did. We came up with a concept that was, we trademarked the concept of a charity registry wish list. And if you know about much about a wedding registry, like in a wedding, you can give a bride and groom the actual money if you want, or you can go to their registry and you can actually buy something on their behalf. If they said they wanted a TV, they wanted maybe an oven, they wanted appliances or something, or they wanted furniture. So whatever it is that they put on their registry, you can actually physically buy, and you know exactly what it is that you actually bought for them. So in the crowdfunding industry, what we've basically done is we've given money to the recipient, and then what ends up happening is we have no idea what happened. What happens if what happens with the money when it's overfunded? What happens when you had a goal of 5,000 and it turned into 15,000? Or what happens if it's 5,000 is only 3,500? But you have no clue where the money really was spent. They give you an idea in their profile, but they didn't. So what we created was a crowdfunding model that's specifically targeting other nonprofits. And that's the trust factor. We don't give money to the recipient. There is a proactive, predetermined, wish list that the donor actually sees on the actual crowdfunding online platform. If people don't know what crowdfunding is, because some people haven't heard the term, it's online fundraising. So if you were to go to our website, www.everyonewins.org, and that's with the number one, the number one wins.org. We are starting right now. Actually, today, the 19th, is Gannett, which owns USA Today and many other newspapers. They are actually creating a $100,000 a challenge. It's a challenge. There's a financial challenge for charities, and we hope to be granted one of those. We would hope you could support us, but you can go to our website and you can click on the support us now or donate now. We are going to be launching this crowdfunding platform in August. So right now we are in the final stages of really putting this thing out, and we're really, really excited about it.
Yeah.
But what basically is happening is the person now, the donor wants to donate. They have the ability to donate, and knowing in advance how their donation is being spent. And we give them an itemized, detailed receipt of
Mm,
gifting. It's never been done before in the charity
no,
industry. Think about it.
yeah.
You give money to charity, and then what ends up happening is that charity, you'll get a receipt that says you gave $500 or $100, whatever you gave, but you have no detailed items. Can you imagine? Tell me what would happen if you went to the restaurant and you got a bill for $100 and they said, sorry, we don't give itemization, or you went to the supermarket. What would you do? You might not look at the itemization when you get it, but if you didn't get it, you probably would complain, right? Would you agree?
Exactly. Yeah. I always may not look at, the details of, that itemized receipt, but I always suspect it's normal.
Yes.
I never thought about, what you just mentioned. And I'm sure a lot of the people who's watching or listening right now haven't thought about it. It makes total sense. And, it's really amazing, how, we all just accept giving to a charity, but we never expect to see, what's happening in the background and an itemized receipt, and this really, just to switch gears, but really stay on point a little bit, to like what you were referencing in the second point, about those who are unable to like donate, or those who like make these small donations and then they feel like, okay, I'm not really making much of the difference, I'm just gonna do it, this is all I can afford right now. So how does your model, really target this audience, it and because this is really a huge market, this is, I mean, probably a market where people feel embarrassed about.
Oh, well, let me tell you that that's a great question. I mean, the bottom line is that's number two. Remember, I said there's three different. One is trust. I think we really got through that. If you were able to get a receipt, knowing
Yeah.
exactly what money went, if we proactively gave you a list that you could pick at, that's already handled. Now we went to number two, and number two is the economics of it all. If you don't have the money, how are you going to donate? Was the question. So we had to figure out how can we actually like you said, attract that group. We came up with an innovative idea, which is a gaming platform. The gaming platform allows you to play free games, never taking a penny out of your pocket. And what ends up happening is we have advertisers that are advertising, matching your points. So the advertising dollars go into the charity of your choice. So they get the funds. I'm sorry, they don't get the funds. They get the funds in their wallet. Now that money is spent to buy the items on the wish list. So as an example,
Okay.
if someone had a $5,000 wish list, and it could be an animal shelter that needed dog food, they needed cages, they needed medicine, they needed whatever they needed, blankets and whatever. That it added up to $5,000. Now you're playing the free games. Advertisers pay to advertise on the game. They match your points, and then the funds go into the campaign. So everyone wins. Donors win, recipients win, corporate partners win. That's our slogan, right?
You know what? That's really truly amazing, and I think that sounds more fun, and it's really an incredible concept. I know there's so many gamers out there, and I just want to shout out potentially one. We have our friend on Twitch right there that says hello to us. So hello to our friend out there on Twitch. So, and I'm certain there's many that's like really hesitant, to give, and not necessarily, because of finances, but it could be possibly, just like you said, we've been highlighting this all along. It's just been the theme of today, just trust, and wondering where the money goes. I'm not sure, we all have said that. So now, we can, I guess the third reason why people do not donate, then, let's get to that. If I only knew, I would have helped.
Right.
Those people who say, if I only knew, I would have helped. So how are you going to help these people,
Well,
in this
well,
group?
again, another. We parlay right into that question. The you see, you have one is trust. We've solved that. Two, the people who don't have the games, they don't have the money, or think their small donation doesn't make a difference. We've created that. Now the third one is, well, what people don't realize is that a lot of these charities, we think of the big charities, and guess what? Some of these big charities are doing great things for our
Yeah.
society. They have the funds to do it. They get the grants, they get the government assistance, they get everything. But what about the small, little community animal shelter, homeless shelter, domestic violence? I mean, you can talk about every different category. And these small, little, um, charities, they don't have the resources. I mean, a
Right.
lot of people don't realize this, but there's maybe 2 employees, there's maybe six volunteers, and none of them really have the technical skills that are needed to actually be working with social media optimization. Even would you believe that a lot of them don't even have websites or mobile access? So they're
Wow.
not being seen. If you're not being seen, how are people going to know that you have a mission if they don't know about you? So
Yeah.
if what we're doing is, with the funds that we generate as an entity, we're here to support you. We're here to support you as a 501c3. We want the 501(c)(3)s to jump on board to our platform. Our platform is completely 100% free. There's no cost for a charity to come on board with us. uh, Share your story and let us help you market yourself. If we want to help you market yourself, because as a team and as a group, we can be more successful, so everyone wins. That's the concept. The concept is basically, you do what you do, you keep on working hard to help whoever your audience is, whoever's in need, and let us help you in the back end to make sure that you're being seen. Because what are we doing? We're creating a platform that's allowing donors and corporate
Right.
partners to be involved. So it's really, that's the reason why the name was called Everyone Wins, because it's true.
Yeah.
Right?
And I can think of countless like charities that can really, benefit from this. It's really hard to believe that, we continue to accept this broken system over and over again. So now you overcome like, the obstacles now, and I'm just gonna, kind of list them out a little bit. Trust, number one. Two, economics, of wondering if my small donation would ever make a difference. And then three, if I only knew. By the way, I think this number three of helping small charities, I really never knew how many small charities there were out there. Like I said, I can think of a few on my hand, but you see on TV and you get the big names in the mail, and but when you think about it, the small local market, small local animal rescue center, the homeless shelter, the domestic violence center, these small charities, they probably are like crying for like help, crying for financial assistance,
It's
and don't
true.
have personnel like you mentioned. So the know-how, the marketing, is like so crucial. Like I got to deal with it with my business, and you have to attract those extra donated dollars in order to do so. So when you
And it's
put
a lot of
all,
work.
yeah,
It's a lot
yeah,
of
it's,
work.
it's a lot of work. You're right,
Right.
Mark. So um this business model, I'm really excited about spreading the word about it, and I'm sure our audience is too. And I'm grateful you came on today.
Thank you. I really appreciate the time, and
Yeah.
I hope that the message is heard loud and clear. Because I mean, there has to be some way that we can actually make a difference, and
Yeah.
together, I say we're better. So
Yeah,
if
definitely.
anyone can help, a little bit, there's never a donation too small. This challenge is also going to be an important part. I mean, it would be nice for our charity to get $100,000 from the Gannett Foundation. It's a challenge that's out. There's several different parts of the challenge. The challenge is, one, how many donors can we get? The other is, what's I believe it's the average donation amount. And then, of course, they review your platform, what your mission is, and hopefully people will recognize the value that we provide, and in whoever's voting. And I hope we're one of the finalists. So yeah, we're excited about it. Again, it's everyonewins.org. It's the word every, the number one, wins.org. You know,
Outstanding. I know today, Mark, we spoke about like two entities, so I want to make that clear to the audience out there. There's two entities, like we kind of, kind of working together here, and that Mark is like, kind of leading. So those two entities, once again, is Everyone Wins Foundation and E1W Games. So I know I stated it earlier, but it's spelled, everyone out there, the number one wins. And by the way, I do love the name of the charities. So it's very catchy, very easy to remember and retain. So tell us about the corporate partnerships and the value to your business model, as well as to those partners that hook up, because there's a lot of corporate people that listen to this
Right.
particular podcast too.
Well, of course, we always want corporate partners to recognize our opportunities. If
Yeah.
you have anything that if you want us to market yourselves, we create joint venture marketing. Remember, we're not giving money to everyone, so we are the purchasers. So if you can just write to us, info@everyonewins.org. Again, it's with the number one. Everyonewins.org. Info at everyonewins.org. Just write us a little something. Tell us a little bit about your products, what it is, your services, how it incorporates with, who your audience is, and let's see how we can incorporate that into the nonprofit sector. Who in need would be buying your product? And if we're buying it, guess what? We need to have suppliers and vendors. So the question is, what can we do for you? What can we do for you to build your business? And at the same time, we're helping those in need with your products and services. So it's really enough. It's more looking at a wholesale, as well as you have an opportunity to advertise on our platform. So I don't know how else to say it, but I think we can give you a pretty good understanding of your return on investment, because if you invest with us, you're going to be able to get your exposure, but we're also possibly going to be able to buy your product as long as your pricing makes sense. So again, what can we do for you? And with the gaming opportunity, if you want to advertise, you could be matching the points and being seen by thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So it's a win-win. That's why we say donors win, recipients win, and corporate partners win. Because we want to do what we can to make sure you get the exposure you deserve, and at the same time, we would love to be buying product from you. So give us an understanding of what it is that we can do for you.
I like that. I really like that. And then just for those who didn't catch that email and the website, we have it right here, right, info at everyonewins.org, and the website is everyonewins.org. For those who are watching, that can see that, and for those who are listening, I just repeated it back to you. So, what is next? There's always that question: what's next? What and how can we help? As as listeners, as viewers of this podcast today.
Well, like I mentioned to you, we're going to be launching the website in August. We're going to be doing some beta testing. We want some people to say 501cs, 501c3 nonprofit exempt organizations, preferably, to be involved in understanding um, the model that we have in place. We want to get some feedback from them so that we understand what maybe they have questions with, what they possibly need help with. We think it's seamless, of course, because we've been working on it for many, many years now. And the fact is that now that we're launching, we want to put it out to the public in a soft launch. But the true launch will be in a couple of weeks time after our beta testing, which is only going to take a couple of days of focus groups and case studies. So if you want to be part of our focus group or case study, feel free to give us a call, and let us know. Through the email would be helpful, because as you can imagine how busy we are to answer
Yeah,
phone calls right now.
indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. Well, Our time is almost up, and for those who are watching, listening, we will have a part two. I will sit down and talk with Mark again, and if you missed anything, of course, you can just always record, uh, go to the recording and play this back if you catch it, but via live stream. Um, Marcus is great. He's very humble by saying just a few years. He really thought this thing out. What 12 years in the making.
Well, we got the charity started. I think it was 2011. Was the idea, of, and it's just evolved, over time.
Yeah.
It's evolved over time. So yeah, it's I've gone through some challenges in getting the thing off the ground like I wanted to. But I guess I used the example with you. Remember I told you about the haircut, the bad haircut.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a bad haircutter until he cut my hair bad. you know. So I mean, I had to go through a couple of bumps in the road, and a couple of people that were working with us. It was challenging, but we're here. We made it, and I said to
Exactly.
before, you learn from it. If anyone told me they built a business without any mistakes and everything went perfect, I kind of would question them. Yeah.
Indeed. So let's recap here. That'll be up at the top of our minutes and times here. If you want to help out, you can simply be involved in the beta test for E1W games, like Mark has explained here. You can either go to the website e1wgames.com. That's
Yep.
E1.
Actually, .org. But
Oh, excuse me, .org. I'm sorry. And then all their social media links are there. We're going to also have it in our episode description. You will be able to find that on our blog too, which our blog will be back ready to back after to a lot of you guys and going through email. But if you prefer to go directly to the social media, just type in E1W Games, no spacing. Remember, it is the number 1 W Games. And remember, any help for their gaming platform is going to help expand what they're doing with their game selections in a timely manner, which will help to generate more variety and overall help. It's going to fund more campaigns for those in need. We definitely want to get those funds out there to people and get the job done so that everyone can win. So everyone wins. And lastly, let's not forget about you mentioned the $100,000 challenge that you got coming up, right? So I do wish you the best at getting that grant, and I certainly hope that my listeners today and viewers too will go to the website everyonewins.org. And again, that's everyone, the number 1 wins.org. Make sure you donate. Mark, you really reflect us as a people, us as true Americans. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to share this out and get this information further to those who haven't heard it. We'll see you again.
Heard it here first.
You are now rocking with the hottest business and spirituality podcast show, the Transform You Live Show, hosted by Marcus Hart and Paul Greaves. This is the only place where you can get on your own personal transformation journey, drawn from personal stories, books, and much, much more. For more information, visit transformubroadcast.com. That's transform the letter U broadcast.com. Only on the Transform You Media Network. Now here's your host,